And yet he's still breathing, right?
Is he? Is he? Get your client under control and back in her seat, or I will have her removed from this courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Blair, get control of yourself. Right now. Right now. Sit down. Sit down. Just get control of yourself. Otherwise, we're just going to have to skip this trial and this hearing, and I'll just drive it to Statesville myself.
Oh, Max isn't here yet.
Yeah, we both know that.
Look, Todd. He did something, and look at him.
Yeah, if Todd did do something, we'll deal with that in due course. We can't do anything about it right now.
Get a postponement or something.
I've already tried that, remember?
We both know that Todd did something.
If that's true,
To
it's
Max.
unproven, and I can't take that to the judge. She'll throw the book at me.
He's gonna destroy me up there, Sam.
You're doing such a good job of that yourself. At this rate, you won't even have to try.
Stop it.
Mr. Rappaport, the court's patience is not without its limits.
Understood, Your Honor. Behave. And Kelly, please. Sit on the other side of Blair just in case she has this sudden impulse to charge the witness stand. Sorry for the interruption, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
Glad to hear it. Bailiff, will you swear in the witness?
Please rise and put your hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I certainly do.
Ha!
Excuse me, Your Honor.
You may proceed, Mr. Gannon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Why did you do that?
To keep you out of prison?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Without Max's testimony, that's exactly where I'm heading.
How did Todd do it? How did Todd keep Max from showing up?
Hey. Who are you?
Who wants to know?
I do. What are you doing here? What's he doing in here?
You know that creep?
Unfortunately,
Oh, sorry.
not as sorry as I am.
Then you wouldn't mind if I would keep him in there for like an hour or two.
I wouldn't mind if he stays in there the whole night.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.
All right, come on. Hello. Tell the court what you do for a living.
Sure. I am the owner, publisher, and editor-in-chief of The Sun, which is the greatest newspaper in the history of the United States.
Talk about lying on the witness stand.
Mr. Manning, are you familiar with the defendant?
Oh, kinda, yeah. We were married once. By that, I mean that we were married once, twice.
How would you describe your current relationship?
Whew. Well, it's been rough, let me tell you, because I've tried very hard to be a good friend, but she's a horrible, evil, evil murderer.
Objection!
Sustained. Mr. Manning, you will refrain from any further editorial comments. Proceed, Mr. Gannon.
Thank you. Mr. Manning, where were you on the evening of November 16th of last year?
I went to Asa Buchanan's house.
And would you describe the events of that evening?
When I got there, I heard a gunshot, and so I ran to where I thought the gunshot came from, and I saw Max lying in a big puddle of blood. He was bleeding, appropriately, like a stuck pig, and someone was standing over him, holding a smoking gun.
Mr. Manning, is that person in this courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point that person out to us?
Sure, she's right there. It's Blair Buchanan or Kramer, whatever the hell she's calling herself.
Objection!
Hey, I'm sorry. It just kind of slipped out.
Don't let it happen again. Mr. Gannon?
Thank you. Mr. Manning, what did you do following this discovery?
Well, I reached for the nearest phone, which was kind of a taupe princess number, which really confused me because it was Asa's house. Anyway, I tried to call the police.
Did you?
No. I was prevented. Blair said I shouldn't call for help.
I see. And did she give you a reason why?
Yes. She said she wanted Max to die.
Order in the court.
This. He's making it sound worse than it was. He wants to put me away, and I think he just did.
Thank you, Your Honors. So, Mr. Manning, what you're saying is you wanted to call 911, but the defendant stopped you.
That's right. But I should never have listened to her. I mean, clearly it was just crazy talk.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Very well, Counselor. Mr. Rappaport, do you care to cross-examine this witness?
I do. Mr. Manning, is this phone like the one you say you tried to use at the mansion?
No, not at all. Okay, more or less.
How did you reach for it?
With my feet. How do you think I reached for the phone?
Can you show me? And Blair put her hand on yours like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, notice that your fingers are touching the phone, mine aren't. You notice that?
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the police report from the crime scene. And it shows that there is only one set of prints on the phone receiver. Blair's. How do you explain that?
I don't know that I can explain that.
Yeah. Do you want to change your story?
Okay. Maybe what happened was just the opposite.
You mean Blair had her hand on the phone and your hand was on top of hers?
Yeah, could have been, you know, sometimes I get
Like
confused.
she was trying to make the call and you were trying to stop her.
Yeah, sure, maybe like that.
I see. And why did you do that, Mr. Manning?
I was trying to calm her down. Because Blair was totally bugging.
Bugging? What do you mean by that exactly? That she wasn't in her right mind?
Objection, Your Honor. The defendant's mental state, it was settled at an earlier hearing.
Prosecution's own witness reopened the question, Your Honor. In both the direct and the cross, defense must be allowed to pursue it.
Objection overruled. The witness will answer.
Oh, relax, Hank. What I'm about to say isn't going to help Blair at all.
Yeah, I'm sure. In fact, haven't you done everything you could to destroy my client in the eyes of the public in this courtroom? Because you hate Blair for carrying Max Buchanan's baby? Isn't that why you're suing for sole custody of your child? Isn't that why you're running these outrageous stories about her on the front page of The Sun, full of innuendos and half-truths?
Yeah, you know what?
Your Honor, relevance.
You should thank God that I'm only telling half the truth. I told the whole truth. They'd lock your client up and throw away the key.
Your Honor.
Why?
Why? Because when she shot Max, she was totally bonkers. She was Looney Tunes, bananas, completely nuts.
So the witness here can get his thoughts together.
Mr. Manning has had enough time to prepare his testimony. Motion denied.
You tell him. I know exactly what. You know, your client should be locked up.
Objection.
She's totally certifiable.
Your Honor, the witness is not qualified to evaluate the defendant's
Oh, come on,
mental
you got me
state.
Freud to figure this one out. She's cutting Sky's clothes up into tiny little pieces and telling everybody she doesn't see anything but the color red, and she's talking to her mother.
That doesn't seem so unusual.
Her mother wasn't even there.
Your Honor.
Her mother's institutionalized, Your Honor. But Mr. Manning, that's hardly proof that Blair is insane.
You're saying I'm only telling you half. You know, you're right. If I told you the truth and nothing but the truth, the whole truth, believe me, you'd strap her to the roof rack of your late model SUV and drive her to St. Anne's yourself.
We're all ears, Mr. Manning.
Yes, Todd, tell us. What else happened that day?
Want to know what a nutjob freak Blair is? She's so cracked that the night that she shot Max, I found her in St. James waiting to get married. She thought it was her wedding day.
The defendant thought she was marrying her husband, the man she shot later that very day?
That's right, you got that right.
Your Honor, this is all very entertaining and totally irrelevant.
Save your energy, Mr. DA. I've already reached my decision.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. You can't just interrupt my testimony. That lunatic shot the man right in the back.
I said I have reached my decision. You may step down, Mr. Manning.
Todd's testimony kill me. You can't let the judge rule now. Please, he'll do something.
You can't just cut me off. I haven't even told you.
Order in this court. Mr. Manning, you will step down or I will have you forcibly removed.
Fine, you don't need to get snippy.
The purpose of this hearing is to determine the validity and admissibility of certain evidentiary material and whether or not that material can be used in any future trial. There's no dispute that in November of last year, Mr. Max Buchanan, also known as Holden, was shot in the back. And in the opinion of this court, there is more than sufficient evidence that the attempt to murder Mr. Buchanan was indeed carried out by his wife at that time, Blair Kramer.
One life.
Honey, come on, you don't know that.
Just wait for the rest of the judge's decision.
Todd may have well just rip my heart out.
This is only the preliminary hearing. It's not the trial.
While assessing the facts of this case, that Blair Kramer shot Max Buchanan, the court was also inevitably forced to assess the mental condition of the defendant at the time of the shooting. It is clear to this court that the defendant's actions were undertaken in the midst of extreme emotional instability. Even the testimony of her chief accuser makes it clear that Ms. Kramer was acting upon irresistible impulses and was unaware of the consequences of her action. Therefore, I have no choice but to declare Ms. Kramer mentally unfit to stand trial by reason of insanity. It is therefore the judgment of this court that Blair Kramer be placed under the psychiatric care of St. Anne's Sanatorium. There she will receive a complete evaluation and whatever subsequent treatment is deemed necessary, which treatment shall continue until such time as Ms. Kramer is determined mentally fit.
Your Honor, how can you do this? This is outrageous. Your Honor, the defendant is fit.
Your criticism is noted, Mr. Gannon. However, any further comments, you will be in contempt. This hearing is adjourned.
All rise. Listen to me, Blair. All the judge decided was going to spend some time on the psychological evaluation. That's all. Okay? Just a little bit.
Blair, what happened? This special judge lady?
Yeah, you're too late, Max.
No, I can still testify. Sam, you gotta reschedule this, all right? Look, she cannot go to prison.
Now, calm down, Max. She's not going to prison.
Where were you? You promised you'd be here for me.
You wanna know where I was? Ask Todd. He's the reason I couldn't make it. Nothing to say, Todd? Which part don't you want to explain? How I couldn't testify on Blair's behalf because I was locked in Ace's wine cellar? Or that the person that locked me there was Star?
Star? Don't you use that innocent child.
Star's not that innocent.
Very nice. I'm the one person that could testify to set Blair free, and you use her own kid to keep me from doing it.
You used Star. You're her father, Todd.
He doesn't know the meaning of that word, Blair.
Don't talk to him. He's not even human.
Oh,
Blair.
he pretends to be. You tell me that you love me, and then you do everything you can to put me in prison. You use your own daughter. You traumatize her just to get what you want. Well, guess what, Todd? Your little scheme backfired here because it didn't work. You got on that stand and you testified that I was crazy. So crazy that she'd be sent away forever. Well, you know what? I'm not going to be sent away. I'm not going to go to prison, Todd. I won. And you lost.
Wrong as usual, Blair. Haven't you learned by now that I always win?
When? What are you planning, Todd? What do you mean?
Miss Kramer, they're ready to transport you to St. Anne's.
Okay, time to check into the Ha Ha Hotel.
Please, come, please.
It's gonna be
No,
okay.
I can't go there. You know that I'll go crazy. You know that I
Baby,
will.
stop,
Please,
stop.
no. Mama's in there. She's gonna be there. She dies. Please,
That's not gonna happen to you. That's not gonna happen to you. You had an episode and you were out of control for it. All you need to do is show the doctors you're all right. And you're right. They're gonna let you go. They're gonna let you go.
I'll take care of the legal end, Blair, okay? Don't worry, you're gonna get out, and soon. We're gonna make sure that baby has the best care, okay?
Okay, come Come on, I'm gonna go with you, all right? Come on, let's go.
Only police personnel. Sorry. And no visitors until she's through admissions.
Oh my God, Kelly, how am I gonna get through this?
Because you're gonna remember that it's just for now, okay? You're gonna stay strong and they're gonna let you go. You're right. You won. You won.
You did win today. Even if Max testified, the judge might have disallowed it. The insanity plea was always our best shot, and as things turned out, it worked.
That's right, it worked. Have fun at the cracker factory. Hey, you can learn how to weave a basket.
I'll be back, Todd, and I'll be free. And you're never gonna get custody of Star, do you hear me? You're never!
I'm gonna walk her to the car, okay?
That's good.
Just Sam, I keep having one comforting thought.
What's that?
At least now Blair will have one normal child.
Star's a normal child. The one she's having with you is the one I'm worried about.
And don't think there's not going to be payback for this little prank you and your darling little abnormal Star played on me.
Well, Sam, congratulations. My star witness turned out to be your ace in the hole. I told you to stick to the facts, Todd.
Oh, Sam, you really blew it this time, didn't you? I mean, you and me, we both know that Blair should spend the next 20 years doing work in the prison laundry. But that judge, she just... Okay, why are you looking at me like that?
I know exactly what you did, Todd.
Do anything? I did my civic duty. I testified against Blair.
No. No, you ripped her to shreds.
She deserved it.
And by the time you were finished, the judge was absolutely convinced that Blair was out of her mind when she shot Max. And she had no control over her actions, no idea what she was doing. Which was exactly what you wanted the judge to think.
Come on, Sam, you been eating those funny little mushrooms again? You're the one they ought to put on a bus to St. Anne's.
You knew a stay at a hospital would be better for Blair than a prison sentence. You knew she'd be free someday. Maybe very soon. The truth is, Todd, you didn't come here to convict Blair today. You came here to save her.